Hello everybody and welcome to another A+ 1102 course with practice exam questions at the end of the video, where I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this exact exam objective, and then I will give you questions that are similar to that you might be asked on your exam. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get straight to it. Your first thing that you need to know about today is what we'll be covering, I guess, only a small amount in this particular video, which is local OS firewall settings. So let's have a look. Local OS firewall settings. First of all, what is the local operating system firewall? The local operating system firewall in Windows, right? We've talked about what it is already, what it's called. We should know that. Here's a bit about just what it is and the settings that are available to you. So of course, what it's doing is it's choosing what traffic is allowed in, the green line here, happy face, and what traffic is allowed out. The firewall will reject the traffic that you say cannot come in. So it blocks most programs from accessing the network by default, which protects your system from potential threats. You can configure application restrictions and exceptions within the firewall settings. So you can navigate to the firewall settings and configure what applications can access the network specifically, which would allow you to specify which programs are permitted to access the network for essential functions. So, you need your web browsers and your email clients, of course, to be able to access the network. That's a no-brainer. While keeping the ones that don't need to blocked, which would enhance your overall security posture. By having specific guidelines and settings as to what can and can't access the network, you will have the best security posture that you possibly can. Now, your application restrictions and exceptions is something that's explicitly stated that you will need to know. So you will need to know, sorry. The Windows firewall allows you to control what applications are permitted to access the network. As I said, what I really recommend you do, actually head into the firewall settings on your device and have a fiddle with it. Try to have a look at what settings you can and cannot change. This is another one of those exam objectives that is best learned by fiddling with it, by actually having a hands-on go. You can configure exceptions for specific applications that do require network access to function properly. As I said, common exceptions that you would need to make: web browsers, email clients, media streaming applications, and gaming applications, things that need to access the network in order to function, right? So here we have an example. If you go to Windows Defender Firewall within your control panel, you can actually see which applications are allowed, and you can say on a private network, yes, you can access the network. On a public network, yes, you can access the network. And you'll notice the public section has a lot less than the private section, simply because if you're connected to a public network, it's generally better to have more restrictive firewall practices, because that is going to enhance your security. But if you're on a private network, that generally means it is a trusted network. It's like you're at home, you're connected to your home router in your home local area network. That is a private network, and therefore you can trust it. You're in the privacy of your own home. There's no one that's going to be trying to hack you there by intercepting your Wi-Fi. At least it's less likely. Whereas if you're sitting in a public cafe, security is a lot more of an issue. So that's generally what you want to be considering. Right now we have some questions, only a couple for this one because it's a short one and it's a sweet one. So let's get to them. The first question: a native security program on your Windows computer controls incoming and outgoing network traffic, allowing you to define which applications can access the internet and which ones are blocked. This program did not require any installation or configuration. This functionality most likely refers to A, an external hardware firewall connected to your network; B, a third-party antivirus software with firewall features; C, the built-in Windows firewall with application restriction capabilities; D, a router's security settings controlling network access for devices. Take a couple of seconds to pause and think about it if you're new to your answer coming up in 3, 2, 1, here we go. The answer is C, the built-in Windows firewall with application restriction capabilities. So let's just have a read of the question, right? A native security program. So if it's native, it means it's like designed for your operating system specifically. It is on your Windows computer. It controls incoming, outgoing network traffic, allowing you to define. Just redo the starting of the question. It says specifically here, this program did not require any installation or configuration. This functionality most refers to, so did not require any installation or configuration. So it's there by default. The only one of these options that we have here: external hardware firewall, you need to purchase that and set it up. A third-party antivirus, you need to go and install that if it's third-party. A router's security settings, a router isn't doing this for us. It's on our device. It's native. It's on our device. Okay, so C is the only one that made any sense given the specificities of the question. Next one. The Windows Firewall allows you to create exceptions for specific programs that need network access to function properly. Which one of the following applications is least likely to require a firewall exception for basic functionality? A web browser, B, an email client, C, video editing software, or D, online multiplayer game. Pause the video if you need to. Your answer coming in 3, 2, 1. The answer is video editing software. A lot of these need access to the internet. So for your exam, you'll need to know when to make exceptions and when not to make exceptions for accessing the network for applications. So web browsers, yeah, you're going to need to access the internet to access the web. Email clients need the internet to send emails. Online multiplayer games, it's in the word, it's online. You need to access the internet to play an online game, so you need it. Video editing software, no, it's going to be the least likely because generally you have all the footage you take onto your program and you're editing it within your program on your computer, which doesn't necessarily need access to the internet. So that was the most correct one there. The general thing for that is just know when to make exceptions, when not to. There's another question here, which, we'll go through it. You want to allow a specific program on your Windows computer to access the internet, but the default settings might be blocking it. Which of the following options describes a way to configure this process through the Windows Firewall? A, accessing firewall and network protection and disabling the firewall. B, updating your internet browser to the latest version to allow for full functionality. C, change the inbound rules and outbound rules within the advanced settings. Or D, right-clicking on the program icon and updating it to the most recent version. Pause the video if you need a second. Your answer coming in 3, 2, 1. It is C, change the inbound and outbound rules within the advanced settings. So guys, just go ahead, move into your Windows Defender firewall settings and just have a go at navigating around and seeing how you change the settings. You might be asked a question like that. So that's just a matter of you actually trying to work your way through it. And if you're looking at that question and you're freaking out, it's good that you realize now and you didn't realize on your exam. It's a sign that you need to go in and actually fiddle with those settings and see what you can do there. Now, if you enjoyed this video, this is just a snippet of the kind of content that's available in my learning guide for the 1102. I did a learning guide for the 1101. Here's what people are saying about that. Your guide is goated. I don't comment a lot, but it helps with organized information and helps me piece things together more easily. Update your notes definitely helped me pass my test today. Thank you. I downloaded your learning guide already. I can see it will help immensely with studying. I tried other popular resources, but struggled absorbing the material. Will you have one for the 1102? That's what you're watching right now. I got that there over at journeytocyber.com. So go ahead and grab that. You've got comprehensive notes, active recall questions, and practice examination questions, all for a very, very reasonable price. And I'm talking in Australian dollars, so if you're in America, it's going to be chump change to you. So if you want to get that, you'll be as happy as this guy ready to pass your exam. If not, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.